Okay, everyone, so this is week 9 of Libs 130. We are looking at the week specifically for CRN 25161, which will be today, Wednesday, March 20th to Tuesday, March 26th. And if you are in the other CRN 25162, that will be your week beginning Thursday, March 21st to Wednesday, March 27th. However you take it, it's still week 9. And by the time you get this video, you can also correlate everything that I have said in the video with what I would have updated you with in the course update forum. So you want to look out for guidelines and further instructions for what you're supposed to be doing in this week 9. So we continuing with steps 2 and 3, that is gathering and selecting information from varied sources, and you are specifically looking at finding and using journal articles coming from the database EBSCOhost, that is COSSTAT's main database. EBSCOhost is a research database. And to prep you for section 2 of assignment 3, you would be expected to identify types of periodicals, use periodical databases like EBSCOhost, which I just said, conduct basic and advanced searching, which I will go through, apply appropriate citation styles for print and non-print periodical articles, and then you are expected to complete, but of course not yet submit, section 2 of assessment 3. So the resources you're going to be looking at, types of periodicals, what is a periodical, a video on how to identify scholarly journal articles, another website on finding articles. You're going to be using EBSCOhost database. Here is the username and password. Google Scholar is here as well. If you want to get specific articles, online articles, so you're free to use that for journal articles. Last week we looked at Google Scholar and its academic focus. So you should be able to find articles there if you don't find in EBSCOhost. And you have several tutorials on using EBSCOhost, but I will be going through a quick tutorial on using EBSCOhost as well as per the section 2 of assignment 3. There's EBSCOhost Advanced Search on YouTube using EBSCOhost Result List and EBSCOhost Discovery Service tutorial. So I will cover some of these, if not all, in today's video session. You also have some non-graded activities where you get to do a review quiz on what you would have learned about periodicals, and also another short quiz on finding and using journal articles and books. So that's what you should be able to accomplish in week 9. We are beyond the halfway point of the semester, so we're really getting down into the meat of this course, fundamental research skills. So I'm going to leave the e-classroom now and head across to assessment 3, section 2. And as you will see here, you'll be locating, selecting, and evaluating journal articles from online subscription periodical databases. You would have seen, let me just get this out of here. Okay, so you would see we use the word periodicals. We used the term, we didn't really use the term subscription databases. Yeah, how to identify scholarly journal articles. So this is the periodicals or subscription-based articles are what you would find. Sorry, this keeps coming up. What you would find in also known as journal articles. So journal articles and periodicals are similar in that periodicals would be the umbrella term for different kinds of um, publications that are produced periodically. So newspapers, Reader's Digests, magazines, journal articles are all published periodically, whether it's daily as in newspapers, monthly as in magazines, bi-weekly as in some other magazines. Journal articles could be annually, biannually, but they're all done on a periodical basis, hence the term periodical. So for our purposes, for research purposes, we are going to look at specifically journal articles as a specific type of periodical. So what are you expected to do in this section? Um, Use EBSCOhost, which is an online periodical subscription database. So you don't pay the subscription, Costat does that, and you are privy or have access to use it as a student. And you're going to search for scholarly journal articles related to your research topic. And just like section 1, you will be given a number of questions or activities, and you are expected to fill in your responses on the left-hand side. I will go back up to the beginning, as I did last week, where I would have populated the left side of the column with what I gave as an example. So we're using my research topic as an example for you to follow. So my research topic, just to remind you, was climate change in quotation marks because we're considering it a phrase search and a hoax. So I kept my research topic quite simple. Yeah, climate change and hoax or hoaxes. I could use either one. My focus research question is climate change a hoax? And my thesis statement, climate change cannot be considered a hoax because of extensive research and evidence proving it to be an indisputable fact. Okay, so I'm going to skip past section 1, scroll down to section 2, and kind of walk you through it. So create an appropriate search string. Now, over the past week, 2 weeks actually, some of you would have submitted your search strings for me to give some feedback on. Some of you were on target. Some of you, I'm not sure you read any of the resources in terms of how to create a search string. And I would have said in the last video that you are meant to use just your keywords or key phrases, Boolean operators and or not, and use whichever search techniques are relevant or appropriate to your search string. So you will see here I have a simple search string, create an appropriate search string. So it's quite appropriate and simple. So I have climate change as a phrase search because I don't want climate and change to be separated. I want them to be seen as one phrase all the time, all together. And my Boolean operator and another keyword hoax, another Boolean operator not, and then finally another keyword Trump. So I've used 2 Boolean operators. I want to exclude the word Trump because I don't want a lot of articles with him being center stage. I want to get to the meat of my argument. And so I am excluding and limiting my search to climate change and hoax specifically. Now we're going to use EBSCOhost. So I am going back to the eClassroom. And under the use heading, you're going to see EBSCOhost database. You click on that. You type in the password, which is Costat. Sorry, the username, which is Costat, and the password, which is prof_Costat. So make sure you spell that correctly. And you log in. So let me open up this page. So this is what EBSCOhost looks like. Now, for the purpose of this section of the assignment where you're being asked to look for scholarly journal articles specific to your research topic, and of course to support and substantiate your thesis statement, you want to look at the left side of the EBSCOhost homepage. Now this is very important because we are specifically using the academic databases, periodical databases, and you'll see them all here. They're subject specific, as in their different subject areas: music and the arts, business studies, Caribbean search, computer science, and in IT, etc. You'll also see a section that says list of all academic databases, but it's all here, so don't really need to open that. And then you have this one is pretty important: search all databases at once. If you have a topic that is multidisciplinary, meaning that your research topic can fit in maybe music and the arts and the Caribbean, you may want to search all databases at once to kind of grab results from a wider pool. If you're very certain about your research topic and your subject area, like in my case, I'm looking at climate change and hoax. I specifically want to look at environmental science, and perhaps not maybe criminal justice or any of these areas. I really want to focus on environmental science. Now, I said to focus on I said left before, sorry, I meant right. The right-hand side should not focus on the left, because this section here actually, these links or databases allow you to search both Costard's library collection, as in physical books, as well as the virtual collection, which is found in EBSCOhost. So if you use this side here on the left, you are not only going to be pulling journal articles, but you're also going to be pulling books, and that's not what you want for this exercise or this section. So we're focusing on the right hand side. So I hope that is clear. Okay. All right, so going back to the assignment. So we have our search string. We are heading into EBSCO. So they ask already, state the name of the subject-specific database that you selected. I'm going with EBSCOhost Environmental Science, as I said before. So I click on that. And I'm going to put in my appropriate search string. So I'm going to do a copy and paste into here. Okay, and this is considered a basic search. So you'll see basic search is kind of highlighted, and we will get to the advanced search after. So let's see what happens when I do a basic search using my search string climate change as a phrase search and hoax, not Trump. So I click on search, and immediately you can see the number of results. I have 66 results. So I go back to my worksheet, do a basic search, and write the number of results retrieved. So I've done my basic search. I type in my 66 answer, and you will see that I have 66 different articles. So we have global warming, scam, fraud, or hoax. That seems pretty relevant and on topic. I'm sorry. And then we have not just funny after all, sarcasm as a catalyst for public engagement with climate change. This doesn't quite look like what I want. I'm scrolling down, maybe number 4. Conspiracy suspicions as a proxy for beliefs in conspiracy theories, implications for theory and measurement. I see climate change in there. So I'm seeing a number of articles, some of which seem on point, others which seem a little off. This one seems like a good one. Number 6 is global warming a hoax. That is actually very close to my my focus research question, which is climate change a hoax? So instead of climate change, they have global warming. So obviously that's a related term that I would use. Okay, so Next, they ask, so of course, this does not look um, very similar to Google, maybe. Same kind of idea though. Behind it, you put in your search into a database, up come a number of results, but you can see the interface looks a bit different, right? You have a lot more means of limiting your search, which we will get to in a bit. Okay, so what does D ask us to do? D asks us to go to the advanced search, write down the exact search string and advanced search strings, whether you use Boolean operators, which it is assumed you would use because a search string is composed of keywords and key phrases and your Boolean operators. Do you use truncation? What other limiters do you use? So as many as you use, you need to detail that. And then the second part is asking you to state the number of results retrieved. So here we are. This is our basic search. I'm going to do an advanced search now. So we click on advanced search. And you will see you can't leave it just like this. The advanced search, like the advanced search for Google, you need to insert one key phrase or keyword in each field. So they can't be jumbled up like this. I'm going to move Trump to the last field. I'm going to move hoax to the second field, and I'm going to get rid of the Boolean operators here because they are at this side here on the left. And I'm going to switch this to not. So instead of us having our search string written or being displayed horizontally, it's being displayed vertically. So it's the same search string, climate change and the hoax, not Trump. Now, because it's an advanced search, you have a lot more filters and limiters that you can use to manipulate the number of results that you get. So I'm going to start here with these fields at the side, show you what some of them mean. So climate change, that's the focus of in fact, I want to put in one more. So let's just to show you some tricks, I'm going to add another row. I'm going to move these down. I'm going to move Trump down. I'm going to move hoax down. So I'm going to put and here. And I'm going to put or here. And I'm going to put global warming because they are similar, right? Global warming. Right. So let's change this. Climate change. Let's put this in here now. Oops. Climate change. Spacebar. I'm going to put in global warming here. Put that in the title. Okay. Oops, and I forgot my Boolean operator. Oh. Okay. Okay, so we have climate change or global warming, right? And if I were to write this horizontally, it would look something like this. Climate change. Don't need it in. Sorry, always have sniffles. Climate change or global warming and hoax, not Trump. Now you don't have to capitalize his name, but you know, because it's not case sensitive, so whether it's lowercase or uppercase, it's quite fine. So I could decide to use this one, the first one without the, oh, I forgot my close brackets here. So I have here this search string. It's using phrase searching here with the quotations. It's using nesting with the brackets. It's using all the Boolean operators or and not. Yeah, so pretty comprehensive. Okay, so this is my advanced search. Now, what are these? We want each of these keywords or key phrases to be found in a specific place um, in whatever journal article that we are are going to obtain, right? That we want the database to retrieve. So I'm going to, because it's very important, it's one of my main keywords, I want climate change in any article to be in the title. I want the same for global warming. That would make my search all the more targeted and focused if I have these keywords coming up in these prominent places. So if your research topic is in the title of the article, you can be pretty certain that the rest of the article is going to be very focused on the research topic you've selected. In my case, it would be climate change or global warming. Now, hooks, I may or may not want in the title, perhaps in the abstract. Now, the abstract is like a summary of the article. So even if it's not in the title, because the title, it may be a short title, it may not be in the title, but definitely in the abstract, which is the summary of the article, I would want it to be mentioned there again, ensuring that the article is going to be focused and targeted on what I am doing research on. And then finally with Trump, I don't want it mentioned anywhere. So I'm going to say all text. So you see how advanced this search is. You don't get this by doing a basic search. Only in the advanced search option do you get the opportunity to be this selective. And that's all you're doing with the advanced search. It's more advanced because you get to be more selective. Now I can get even more selective if I scroll down. I won't play with anything in this first section here. However, I do highly recommend full text. Why full text? In some cases, you may get an article that just gives you the article information and you have no article. That doesn't make sense to you, does it? You may also get an article that has just the abstract and not the entire article. Also does not make sense. So you want to make sure that you limit your search to full text. What else may you want to change? Probably the publication date. I'm not going to mess with the months so much. I do want specific years, maybe the last 5 years. I don't want anything later than that. So this is the currency, right? So pay attention to that. This is how I want my information pretty current, the last 5 years and counting. I may not, don't get too excited or excitable about clicking on every single limiter because you saw already for our basic search that we only had 66 results. If you put too many limiters, you may end up or wind up getting like one result, and you don't really want that. For your advanced search, you want to reduce the number of results, but not to the point where you X out all of the good stuff. Okay, so you have your publication years here, 2014 to 2019. The only thing I may play around with next is probably the language. Oops, I passed English. So here we have English. So let's double check. So I have my keywords or key phrases, two key phrases, two keywords. I have my Boolean operators or and not. I have my specific limiters as to where each of these keywords or key phrases should be found. I've also selected full text because I want to read the full article. I've selected the currency, how recent, how dated, the time period that I want this information to be in. I have also selected English as the language. PDF full text, you want to be careful with this one because you don't just want PDFs. They may come like in HTML, so I wouldn't play around with that too much. So let's see, I'm recreating a search I did earlier. Wow, okay. So this is a good lesson here. So when I did this search the first time, the advanced search, and I did not have or global warming, I in fact got 4 results. Now, or means more. So you'll see that I, in fact, got more than 66 results, which I obtained with the basic search. And here I am doing the advanced search, and I get 4,067 results when it should have been a lot fewer. And that's because of this or. So you want to be very careful with this or. So I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to clear this field. Boom. Oops, I cleared everything. I wasn't supposed to do that. I was just supposed to remove a row. Okay, so I'm going to do this over again. So climate change, it's going to come up here for me. All right. And hoax, not Trump. So I'm going to put my not here. I'm going to, let's see, move a row. Okay. I am also going to select my fields again. If you remember, title, abstract, all text. Yes, I'll give you a little example of each. Oh, this is our basic search. Let me go to advanced search. My bad. So, okay, everything is back in place. We're going to select full text. So you're getting another opportunity to go through this. I'm going to put in my time frame. I'm going to put in English. Oops, not French, English. Yeah, full text, okay. Then I'm going to hit search. Let's see if I get 66. Oh, I got 2. Last time I got 4. So what did I do? So let's see what I did. I put in, right, the advanced search techniques. I put in my limiters, Boolean operators, selected full text. Okay. Scholarly peer-reviewed journals. We could probably take that out. I didn't add that. That's also helpful, but you don't necessarily need it. You may, let's go back. How come I only got 2 this time? That's interesting. I don't think I did anything different. Well, that's how these databases work. That's okay. So I got 2. I am okay probably with the second one, but since Ted Cruz is also a Republican, also within the Trump administration, I probably won't go for this article because I said I didn't want Trump. I am going to go back and just make sure I have everything here. Climate change. Okay. Put back in full text. Did I have English? Language English, publication date 2014 to 2016. Taking this out. Okay, I got 4, but since in this case, let's just put in the 2014. Let's see again. I feel I'll get even less with this one. Let's go to English and search. Oh, only got 1 this time. Okay, so I could always change my results. Can put 1. Okay. Of course, you are manipulating this. When you are recording your search process, your research history, yeah, your research report, always give the best scenario. So if you don't like how 1 looks, or you think, okay, I want my advanced search to have a little more like that, more than just 1, you can play around with these limiters and give me your best search results. Okay, don't give me the worst ones because that doesn't make sense. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the basic search because I found I got more information with the basic search. I'm going to put in climate change again. So I'm doing it horizontally this time. Climate change and the hoax, not Trump. So I hit search. Okay, so I have my 66 results. what am I going to do with these 66 results? So for E, it asks you to select an appropriate article relating to your topic from the list of results. And I selected the first one. Sorry. Oh, I didn't. So this one is also good. Global warming, scam, fraud, or hoax. All of these have a negative, um, give a negative viewpoint of global warming though. And we can read, let's just open, let's do something here. So we're in the basic search, but we can limit results or refine it. I want full text. So that takes out, it went from 66 to 35, which is great. I don't really like how number one looks. Number two, I may get some information. Let's go with number three. Is global warming a hoax? I think that's what I have here. Very much like it's almost the same as my question. So there must be something in here that relates to my argument. Now here we have the abstract I was talking to you about. So this is the abstract. Before you even read the entire article, you get a nice summary of what the article is about. So this article offers the author's insights on the history of climate change, along with the impact of people's approach to have affordable energy, which contributes to the increasing temperature of the planet. Topics discussed include the book, the Civil War, etc. Okay, so that sounds like something I'll be interested in. Let's go back and see what else. Not hoaxes, global warming, hoax of the century. So I want things that prove that global warming is not a hoax. This one, denying climate change, probably will back up my argument. Denying climate change is worse than spreading the usual kind of conspiracy theory. It costs lives. So, of course, in me discussing whether climate change is a hoax, I would want some of the perspectives of the um, opposing arguments, but I would also need, of course, more um, more research to back up my argument, which is that it's not a hoax. Okay, so you don't want to have too much information on your opposing argument or your counter argument. Okay. What else are you being asked to do? Okay, so read the article and identify and summarize the main ideas. So I give you a little hint here. You can pull from but not copy and paste the abstract. So you're free to click on to look at the abstract. I would suggest you read the entire article as well. So this one is just in full text. So it's not a very long article. And you can pull some information from there. As I said, the abstract gives you a good idea of what the article is about. So you have to do that for yourself. And then in the evaluation section, you're doing just as you would have done in section 1, the currency. So in this case, I looked at the last 5 years, 2014 to 2019. The relevance, was it relevant? Of course it was. Some of the articles, the one that you select, it should be relevant. So again, you should not be selecting an article that does not really meet your criteria for a good selection, right? The relevance would be you can pull from the abstract again, from the entire article. How does the article support your thesis? That's the point of it being relevant. Accuracy, you are looking, of course, remember the criteria for the CRAP test are below. The source of the information. Now I'll show you something about the source. So here we go. You have the authors. You could actually click on the authors and you can see what else these specific authors would have published. So you know that they are, very well published, very well recognized. Should I go back? Yes, go back. For sources, you are looking at which journal publication your article is coming from. In this case, it's from a journal called Human Events. So that gives you information about the source of information. Let me scroll back here, or the authority. So it comes from a recognized publication journal called Human Events. Okay, sorry, scrolling back up. So authority, all of those things are covered. Purpose you can again get from either the abstract or again reading through the entire article. So remember to base your selections on the specifics for each of the CRAP evaluations: the currency, the relevance, the authority, the accuracy, and the purpose. Okay, so that should be pretty straightforward. Citing now, you need to cite whether APA, MLA, or Chicago. And there's a very neat tool. Under the tools on the right-hand side, you will see Cite. You click on Cite, and up comes the citations in various citation formats, or various citation styles, I should say. So if you are using APA, you scroll up to APA, you have your citation, and you can copy and paste. Doesn't get easier than that. I like to make sure that things look as consistent as possible, so I will do a format painter, highlight my citation, and ta-da! It looks consistent with everything else. Okay, so that's my citation. Now this part I should indent. I think I can move this. Oops, nope. Control Z. I think I have to enter this. So I clicked enter, and then I would shift this, indent. There we go. So that's my citation. Each citation, this is the format really when it becomes part of your reference list or bibliography. You will see that after the first line, you indent to the right. Yeah, so for all of these, you see the first line is flush, not Harvard Australian. MLA and APA, you see, I think Chicago as well. Yes, you indent after the first lines, after the first line. So that's what I've done here. You don't even have to look this up. It's provided for you. And of course, you do your next, this will be your third journal entry by now. And you base your responses in this journal entry on section 2, which is where you would be doing research in EBSCOhost. So I think I have gone through a lot here. EBSCOhost is, for those of you who have not used it before, it is extremely helpful to you as a student. And I hope that you are thrilled about using it as much as it is a thrilling database to use. You really do get the information that you're looking for once your search strings are appropriately formed. Now, there's a lot of, over the years, EBSCOhost has become, well, has competed with or competes with Google and other free databases. So you would find, as I was doing here, you would find that it gives you some options. Oops, that should be climate change. Right, so it does give you options like you would see in Google. So you sometimes don't necessarily, they don't use search strings as precise as they should be because they're giving you different options. But for the purpose of this, for you getting accustomed to using search strings and manipulating databases really effectively, I would suggest that you stick to your manual search string that you have perfected. Okay, instead of just using the options that they have. Okay, so I think that's it. I hope you really benefit from this video tutorial. And again, if you ever have any questions, remember to ask in the course update forum. So signing out. Take care.